At home on every rural road, Hyundai Country Calendar.
The heart of Waikato's lush dairy country.
Pretty proud of my girls.
But this farm is bucking the trend and making a living raising sheep and cattle on some of the most fertile land in the world.
It's our first bit of cash flow, really. It's always a good cheque that comes in.
2,600. Pretty all done, boy.
Go!
It's the final day of Cambridge's Ripper Rugby competition. And the match between Karapiro's 6th grade and Cambridge East Pumas is off to a flying start. Charlie Lee's running the lines for Karapiro.
Good work, Chelsea. We've got rural and urban and we're only 10 minutes away, so it's the best of both worlds.
Saturday morning rugby's always a family affair at Memorial Park. Charlie and wife Helen never miss a chance to support their daughters.
Go, Chelsea.
Chelsea's showing some early talent for Karapiro. While younger sister Sophie has her own spin on the game.
Chelsea, it's her second year and it shows. Go, Chelsea. Well done, Chelsea. Once I've played 2 years of it, they go really well. Good fun. Dad's tomboy. Might be as much rugby as we get.
Good boy, good boy. Well done, good game.
The Lees farm is surrounded by dairy country, but every inch of this 225 hectare property is dedicated to breeding and fattening cattle and sheep.
Yeah, well, over here we can see right out to Raglan, and on a really clear day we can see down to Ruapehu, across to the car workers, back up to Tauranga. I just really love it up here. This 360-degree view. It's the best office in the world.
Charlie's born and bred at Karapiro.
We've been farming here at Ratanui for 11 years now. We bought the farm at auction with the help of Helen's parents. And probably 5 or 6 years later, we acquired a bit more land next door. So we've been busy developing that. And yeah, the whole place is coming together.
Back home from rugby and always keen to help Dad, 7-year-old Chelsea and 5-year-old Sophie.
These bulls are my pride and joy, really. There's 52 of them. They've come through a real cold winter, cold spring, and their growth rates have been excellent. And they're starting to shine up in their coat, but as we get closer to the bull sale, the coats will be starting to blossom, so proud of them. They're good.
Charlie picked up his stock skills from years working as a shepherd, both here and overseas. He's selling these Hereford bull calves at his own sale on the farm next month.
How heavy is this one, Chelsea? 450 kilos? Or
Yeah.
quite big?
Yeah.
Today, Charlie wants to find out if they've been eating enough.
It's about probably 30 days till bull sale day. See what average weight they've done. Works out they've averaged 1.3 kilos a day. So that's great. There'll be another 40 kilos. So there'll be 460 on sale day, which is really good. Been some wet weather. I've made a bit of mud as well, but grown really well, so pleased.
Elsewhere on the farm, Charlie likes to take a more hands-off approach to his stock. His Coopworths lamb in early August. But Charlie only does a lambing beat every 5 to 10 days.
It's basically an unshepherded policy, which is called Easy Care. The result is the last 5 years, our docking rate is 145%. Our wastage from scanning right through to docking is 15 to 17%. So it's a no-brainer to me, and leave them be, you know, natural selection, and we're achieving those great results.
Charlie only checks his stock in good weather. In wet, stormy conditions, there's more chance of the lambs getting separated from their mums.
If there's a single or a triplet lamb sitting there asleep, you go past on a bike, he hears a noise, he chases after you. Turn your bike off, mum calls out, she hears him, he goes back to her. If it's a rainy day, all hell will break loose. When I was shepherding as a young guy, we used to do a lambing beat morning at night with an old guy, and he actually used to go out and pull the wool off the dead sheep at night, back when wool was worth something.
Some lambs do make it home, and this year they're being looked after by Chelsea and Sophie and their younger sister Georgia. It's the first time they've been in sole charge of the orphaned lambs. They're keen to take them to pet day at school in a few months.
We're gonna train them and we feed them. Thanks, Georgia.
Well before children and pets arrived at the farm, Charlie had been giving some thought to his own future. Turns out this sheep and cattle man is a bit of a romantic.
Been going out with Helen for quite a few years, so I thought I'd better make an honest woman of her. So I rang up the father-in-law, got his blessing, and I thought, how do I make this proposal memorable? And went on from there, really.
It was a very special day, and one Charlie and Helen still fondly remember.
It was after work, and I went for a ride on the farm. Charlie races past me.
Come on, keep up. I'll see you back at the gateway.
Yelled something about how slow the horse is. And then I heard the motor of the bike stop. And I was like, hell, that's a bit funny. So I keep riding around there, he is on the ground, and it's like, oh, hell, what the hell's gone on here?
Yes, I had to play possum to encourage her to get off the horse, and then I could propose.
I was a bit scared because I thought they might have broken something. Oh, you okay? What's happened?
Oh,
Are you okay to get up?
I slid off the bloody bike.
So I got him up, and then he proposed to me.
Hey, babe, will you marry me?
I couldn't believe it. Oh, shoot. Of course, yes, of course, hell. And then we had all these rose petals falling down, and yeah, it was quite something. I was very, very surprised, didn't see it coming. I mean, he was pretty stoked that he managed to pull it off.
Put a bit of thought into it and just had to track down a place to get all these bloody rose petals from, but worked good, so we're together, babe, and it's great, yeah.
And he even had the bucket that had the rose petals in, you know, in the house, but even clicked to that. I mean, who would, you know?
Yeah.
So, no,
Masterful,
really cool.
eh?
We suspect there may just be a tear in Charlie's eye.
There you go. Yeah, you better cut there. Get me all embarrassed.
It's a chilly September morning in the Waikato's Karapiro Valley. Even the dogs look like they could use a heater. The weather's not deterring Charlie Lee as he gears up for one of the most nerve-wracking days on his farming calendar.
Good feedback. White face advantage, eh?
Nice and quiet.
Yeah.
It's the fourth year Charlie and Helen have sold their yearling bulls at home. They're building a reputation in the district for the high calibre of their breeding stock.
So it's cash flow from the end of a long winter, and it gives us more land to farm the cows and calves on once all the bulls go. We get a fair bit of country, so look forward to the day. It's payday. Yeah, good. I think all the Hereford sales have been pretty positive, so yeah, we're quite confident. Hopefully we'll be a bit better average than last year. So it's good that Hereford breed's being recognised, the white face advantage over a lot of dairy cows, so go the guy with the beef herds.
Selling their yearlings from home always means extra work for Helen. She enjoys sale day, despite a few pre-auction nerves.
I was a little bit cranky last night when I was hitting all the pots and pans around. But apart from that, he actually handles it very well. Just a lot to do and just gets on with it, which is, I think, you know, one of his attributes, actually. He really one of those guys who just gets in there and does it.
On behalf of Helen and myself and the girls, I'd like to welcome you all here to Ratanui. Lots of familiar faces and new ones, so thanks for your support. Thanks, Biaji. Good luck.
Righto, tag number 13 we're after. First bull in, lovely dark bull again, lovely mark bull. He could be the star.
The bloodlines from these Herefords date back to the 1870s. They're being bred with dairy cows to meet growing demands for beef in the American markets. Charlie and Helen hope they'll be a popular choice today.
2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 50. 2 foot 5, 2 foot 6, 2 6, 2,600. Pretty all done, Boyd. Yeah.
Pretty good. We're 3/4 of the way through now, so a lot of $2,000 marks here, I think, so pretty good.
With the bull sale behind them for another year, there's time to slot in a farm visit from Year 6 at Karapiro School. Helen is a trained horticulturalist and helps with the school's Trees for Survival program.
When we do these programs at school, we sort of talk about what the trees are and how they're going to grow and what they're going to look like when they're older, and then just get some sort of idea of how to take care of the land and giving back and caring about our environment. Right, welcome to our farm, everybody, Karapiro School. Now I've got a question for you guys, a big question. So by planting all these plants and fencing off the waterways, how do you think that that helps? Chad?
It helps, like, the plants will stop all the fertiliser from that used to fertilise the grass going into the river, and it'll help clean it a wee bit.
These 10 and 11-year-olds are keen to get on with the job. They're planting out some of the trees they've grown at school.
Do you want to go and get another one? How are you going, okay? Good? That's good. No, that's really good. Just get all that soil.
Helen and Charlie also operate a native tree nursery.
You got a plant there?
So today's planting has been boosted by the farm supply. These waterways look to be in good hands, and it's the same in other parts of the farm. In the last 3 years, the Lees have fenced off 2 kilometres of waterway and are planting around 5,000 plants a year.
Right from the beginning, I've always wanted to do this, but we had debts to pay. But now that we're on top of all of that, we're moving forward and in a position now that we can sort of start fencing off areas and start planting them off.
There's no more stock in the creeks, or there's going to be shade for them in different paddocks. It's going to be clean forever, and the trees aren't going anywhere. They're going to be here for hundreds of years. So it's a really good feeling, and we're sort of the top of the Waitoa catchment. So we've started the sheep and beef farmers, flows through to our dairy farmer neighbour, he's fenced his, and people look over the fence and copy the neighbours, so it eventually gets out to the Hauraki Plains clean as a whistle. So all of us farmers are doing a pretty good job to keep the waters clean.
Charlie also plants out other parts of the farm in spring to manage his grass and feed levels during the winter months. It's a good use of some of the steeper hill country.
What we're doing today is sowing our winter Swedes 3 or 4 weeks early, actually, in anticipation of another El Nino drought. We sort of crop steeper paddocks, so I end up tying the roll of 4-wally, and that compacts the ground, keeps the moisture in so the air doesn't dry it out. Otherwise he'll sort of be wheel standing up the hill and making a mess in the paddock, so I've got to help him on these steeper paddocks. So guarantees us winter feed supply for our breeding cows. And we've got it by the time we get to winter. It grows all summer. It's fantastic.
To help support the farm operation, Charlie also runs a successful weed spraying business. Starting small, he now employs 14 people. The company has quite a following in the Waikato, especially among its celebrity clients.
Okay guys, here we are back again at Middle Earth for another day of work.
It might be the tradesman's entrance to Hobbiton, but Charlie Lee and his weed spraying team are on an important mission in the middle of the Waikato. Beyond the Shire lies a working farm, and today Charlie's team has the troublesome Californian thistle in its sights.
Back here on our second year of spot spraying their callies, we're having really great results in thinning them out. It's going really good, but it takes a couple of years of hammering them. Farmers don't get back for a second year unless they see results, so we're actually getting more product on the thistle, and we're not blanket spraying the whole area, so we're not knocking the clover. Okay, what we're doing here is exposing the big taproot system on the California thistle. It leads down quite deep, and then all the leaders come off it, and all these roots are joined up to all these other thistles here. So it keeps popping up. These come here in the grass seed from California in the 1850s, so they're spread on a lot of country. But that's your demon there, the big root system heading down and spreading out. They contaminate the wool from the sheep farmer, dairy pastures, there's less grass growing, so get rid of them, get more dry matter and more production, yeah. And when you're making hay as well, a bale of hay without kellies in it's great to handle.
The spray teams are also well known throughout the Waikato and King Country for playing music while they work. Charlie sees it as free advertising.
Yeah, well, you might not be able to see us, but you'll certainly hear us down the back paddock. A few years ago we had a farmer ring up, said he's listened to the music when we met the neighbours and got us in when he had a bit of money. It's a good working environment for the guys, long hot day, bit of music, and it's good.
Today's one of the longest days of the year, and with weather like this pouring in, it's definitely worth getting up early for. With no wool shed on his farm, Charlie has to borrow the neighbours.
We're weaning the lambs off their mothers. Got sheep going one way and then through the neighbours the other way, so we've got to be considerate of stock movements and gates left open and shut. So there's a lot going on in my head, but we achieve a hell of a lot in a day.
By day's end, Charlie will have sent his fat lambs to market through one neighbour's farm. His ewes and remaining lambs will go to another neighbour's shed for shearing. Charlie also uses his spray and planting teams on days like this.
A lot of my guys are ex-farmers, and I've sort of got my core crew that help at docking and weaning, so it's something different for them as well.
That's your high grading cuts through there, your loin chops, your lamb racks, etc. And that's where the markets are going in America. That's where they want the cover and the big racks.
Neighbour Andrew Finlay is also the local stock agent.
Charlie's a real sort of dot the I's, cross the T's sort of guy, you know, so it's got to be done properly. And he's very well organised, so keeps me on my toes as well, you know.
I've known Andrew for 10 or 15 years. He's a bit younger than me, but they've been great neighbours for us when we first come here. There was no wool shed. Andrew and Dave used to let us do all our shearing over there, and it was really great. It's good to have your stock agent as your neighbour. He doesn't have to get out of bed so early to come to our draft. Sit down.
With weaning complete, it's time to send off the stock.
It's about 1 kilometre over there, and most days it takes, say, 15 minutes, but if they go all over the place, it might be half an hour. But it's always a bit of a trick going through Andrew's property. There's a bit of a gully there, but the dogs normally sort that out. Can be tricky, but the dogs are well handy for that paddock.
Plan A has worked well today.
Generally we get them over there onto Andrew's race. They flow from there to their yards and give them a dag, and then they go onto the truck and off to the meatworks. Payday down on the farm.
With the speedsters on their way to the works, there's time for Charlie and the dogs to enjoy a more leisurely run across his farm to his other neighbour's wool shed.
We've just weaned these ewes, there's 600 of them. Pretty proud of my girls. They're high lambing percent and they're great milkers. You know, when we're lambing, they're unshepherded and they're still doing 150%. The mixed stage ewes and the turtles were back a bit this year, but great mothers, leave them alone and produces some good lambs.
Go, Ross. Go, Ross.
The they'll be happy to get the wool off their backs and go and eat some grass.
Charlie's been on the go since before dawn, and the sheep still have one stop left before they can call it a day.
Everyone pitches in and the shearers, dagging, so it's a big team effort, and we'll have some very cold beers at the end of the day as usual.
The shearers enjoy this job. They start after lunch and work into the cool of the evening. There's even some extra help from Chelsea and Sophie, home from school and straight into the shed. At Ratanui, no matter how big the day, there's always another gate to open and more stock to move. Charlie and Helen Lee want a greener future for their family. Their dream, to create a farm that pays it forward for the generations to come.
Helen's really brought the green out of me the last few years, so that's good. I love what we're doing with the environment.
So girls, when Mum and Dad get older and retire, you guys going to run Ratanui for us?
Yeah.
And I think it's important the farm that we leave is in good nick for the children, and I think it really needs to come down to, you know, farming for the future, you know, and how we're going to leave our land for our children.
You should actually shift them into a grassy paddock.
My first boss taught me farming's all about observation, and little Chelsea especially, you know, she's got some good skills for such a young age, so it'll be interesting to see how that evolves over the years with them helping on the farm.
And there's some bars over there.